Early on, as the Ontario Progressive Conservatives started to select candidates for the 2018 provincial election, members of Patrick Brown's campaign team quietly expressed admiration for the way Justin Trudeau's Liberals handled that process before the past federal election. Call it open nominations, with an asterisk. Contests to carry the Liberal banner, one of Mr. Brown's advisors suggested, had mostly been competitive and free from central interference, helping to enlist new party members and build local organizations. But the Liberals also used central vetting to weed out a few candidates they considered problematic. And Mr. Trudeau and his officials successfully attracted an array of star candidates, some of whom then got help to secure the riding level nod. If Mr. Brown's Tories were aiming to replicate that model, it has not been a smashing success. Although they have signed up tens of thousands of new members, their process has been marred by allegations of vote rigging, including in an Ottawa riding where the PC riding executive quit in protest, and in Hamilton, where there is now a police investigation. Despite party officials' alleged willingness to bend rules for preferred candidates, it would have been difficult until recently to name a single high-profile recruit. Story continues below advertisement. But for optimists in the PC ranks, it was possible this week after the nomination of erstwhile media executive Rod Phillips in Ajax, not long after Caroline Mulroney was acclaimed to run in York Simcoe, to believe that maybe their nomination process is starting to produce a bit of momentum. It might even be starting to bear a very faint resemblance to what the federal Liberals achieved, in one regard at least, helping their youthful leader overcome perceptions he's a lightweight. Neither Ms. Mulroney nor Mr. Phillips is quite setting the province on fire. The daughter of a prime minister, accomplished in her own right as a lawyer and Bay Street executive, Ms. Mulroney has thus far been a cautious communicator as she takes her first plunge into politics. Mr. Phillips is well known within the chattering classes, after a career that has included running the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corp. And recently chairing both Postmedia and Civic Action, but it's doubtful he has much name recognition outside a few corners of Toronto. But the Tories will be hoping this pair, and any other prized recruits they lure into the fold, will help build Mr. Brown's credibility in at least a couple of ways once Ontarians tune in closer to next June's election date. The more obvious of those ways is in assuring voters there is a cabinet in waiting. The experience of the Liberals federally, in particular the struggles of Finance Minister Bill Morneau, has shown it's often difficult to predict how outsiders will fare if they go straight into senior postings. But candidates who at least looked well qualified on paper helped Mr. Trudeau push back against concerns about his readiness by showing there would be others to share the burden of leadership. Mr.